Debate is a bilingual program about the political discourse of Nigeria, representing issues and matters arising as they concern the governance of Nigeria by Nigerians in the diaspora and those resident in the country. Insecurity, unemployment, politics, epileptic power supply, strikes. We render an expose of the malfeasance of the past, the inadequacies of the present, and the deceits of the future. Join me every Tuesday on Voice Power Television as we discuss these and more.
This is Voice Power Media, the voice of the realm.
Enugu joins the list of best performing states in WAEC. Who do we give the credit to? Is it the governor or private institution, private schools?
No, as a media person, I think by now you should have known whether being the best, was it best in the performance by the public school or best in the performance by the private school?
Private school.
So you should know this.
Yes.
So which one?
So generally.
Because
yes.
Public and private.
Both public and private. Who should
did you do your
praise?
Will you do your investigation to know which of these two the topmost came from? Because these are the things that would have helped. Because personally, I have not been able to research this.
But I can give you an idea.
Okay, you're not be able to.
It's more from the public.
Okay, it's more from the public.
Public schools.
Okay.
Because
now,
they are
more if it's more from the public, then you have to give kudos to the government. Because whether we like it or not, one of the areas that this government put serious eye on was with education, especially primary and secondary school education. I can tell you that Nsukka has never been as active as they were in this administration. Like Nsukka has done a whole lot of job.
The minimum wage of primary school teachers.
The minimum wage is what is causing the issues now. You understand now? But we're talking about the performance of the era. Now, in this issue of minimum wage, we have tried to engage. And we have to understand that the state government doesn't pay primary school teachers directly. Okay. Who pays primary school teachers is the local government, not state government.
Everywhere in Nigeria.
Everywhere in Nigeria. Now, you need to consider because just like the problem we have is that we don't generate revenue. So everybody's waiting for allocation. Now, we all know that for the first time in the history of Nigeria, oil prices is rising while we are losing revenue. So month after month, the allocations that goes to the various local governments is being depleted. Now, you don't want to be in a situation whereby you say, oh, we have approved the minimum wage of primary schools. And I say, yes, it's good for government to say that we have approved the minimum. And then, when the allocation comes, the local government council cannot be able to pay the minimum wage. Because you don't expect state government to cover from their own cover and say, yes, take and pay. They have their own responsibilities. They have the things they also want to do with money. Money is never enough for any government. You have never seen that we have too much money, except in the military era that these people do their jamboree then. So these are the things that you need. And currently, like one of the things I'm very happy is that I say that though we want every person's salary structure to be improved, but improving of salary structure has its domain on improving of the revenue of the people. This is where the problem is. And because we're running a centralized system of government, once everything is spoiled at the top, it is difficult down here. So it affects everywhere. And to be sincere with you, apart from that, they want this implementation. They have never been owed. Since this is special government, it's not like their salary are owing them the salary. They are saying that if you don't effect the implementation to pay us the new minimum wage, then we are not going to work. So they have never been owed. And there has not been a state that have implemented that federal government minimum wage in Southeast.
Especially on that primary school level.
I mean the primary school. They have implemented so why they are even protesting and striking was that the state government had to implement the secondary school own.
Without implementing the primary.
I don't know if you understand me. When other states in the Southeast have not implemented the secondary school own, the Enugu states have implemented their own. Now, the primary school now say that you must implement ours or we go on strike. When other states in the Southeast have not even implemented the secondary school minimum wage. Now, the other people are not going on strike because they have nobody to compete with. So, the thing that is causing this thing is jealousy between the primary school teachers that they must have the same salary structure with the secondary school teachers. Not knowing that they are not being paid by the same government. Now, you should know, like Nsukka local government, for example, have two-way more, like Nsukka local government have more local civil servants than Igbeze South and Igbeze North combined. And their difference in allocation is not that much. It's probably that I don't know the mass, but I don't know whether their current allocation can be able to carry them. And you don't expect any government that will come in and say, oh, once you give me money, I will use it to pay salary. That I don't want anything that I'm going to do tomorrow that they say, this person, when he was local government chairman, he did this thing. Because nobody remembers you that you pay salary. Salary is the basic responsibility of government. So nobody's going to come and say, when you are a local government chairman, you pay salary. Nobody's going to hear that.
Thank you. Thank you. A large part of the people of Enugu State are saying that they cannot really point at capital projects and massive employment by the current governor.
Okay. This morning, I was on call with somebody, and I was telling him that, especially from here in the north, if you are from Enugu North and you are saying that they haven't seen anything, then you are being unfair to yourself and unfair to the state government. There is no other governor in Enugu that his people can beat their chest and say that this man did this so things for us more than what Uganda have done for his people. I can point it out from the university down to the College of Education, down to the Polytechnic, down to the Federal Polytechnic, road network. For example, when Chimaroge was governor, see Nkanu East and the Nkanu West, Chimaroge will construct road. Here is Nkanu East, he will stop here. I'm being honest with you. He will construct road, getting to Enugu South, he will stop there. Just his own local government and now ban. We supported him. He's our governor. He brought a whole lot of things. They called him Nkanu governor. Especially, he brought a whole young people to power. But I'm seeing the criticism coming out from Enugu North as the opportunity governor presented to the young ones were abused. I said it in a summit here in Nsukka some weeks ago. The opportunity the governor presented to the young ones were abused. So everybody that didn't get his own now decided to get. Either by criticism, directly or indirectly. It's not about infrastructure. It's not about capital projects. How many companies can you bring to Nsukka that will give the number of jobs that your university will give? Tell me how many companies that you will bring. Even Ama Brewery cannot give the amount of the number of workers, employment that your university is going to give. Tell me, Esu Taban, we are divided. This is purely a medical school that will run all other courses.
Odin Oracle, do you agree?
No, I'm coming before you go to her. I'm coming. I'm not from Enugu North, but I'm putting it to you the way it is. I used to be in Nsukka before, UNN before. I know how bad that OP road was then. To some extent that if you're applying that road from OP to Nsukka will take you more than 30 minutes to get to Nsukka town here. But today is around 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Some other people use it and equate what Sullivan do to his people. One guy from Udi was telling me that the only thing they can count is the federal road safety. That each time he comes out with his motorcycle, they will stop him and seize the motorcycle. What game is that? What gain? Effort school. What have the governor not done for his people? You cannot government, I've said it anywhere, no government, even Joe Biden, cannot do everything American people want. Even America, with the budget they have, with the kind of amount of money under their disposal, they cannot. No government can ever meet the need of the people, because the people will continue to want or need more. They will always continue to request for more. So he has done excellently, marvelously well, especially in Enugu North. Anybody that is saying that I have not done should come up with reasons. I will put it out. Renovation of schools, tying of roads, constructing the new ones, building institutions that have not been in existence before. Do you know what it takes to bring a university, register it, and other zones are not complaining? Actually, the man performed very, very well. Other zones are not complaining that he brought a different institution, a new institution entirely.
But we did not see this institution when he started the administration. Why is it coming at the tail end?
The plan have already been there, but people refuse to verify. The building have already been there from the first tenure. The acquisition of the land have already been there first tenure. But people refuse to verify it. Everything has process. It's not every project that Chimaroke started that he finished. There are others that Sullivan touched. There are others he abandoned. It's not everything Sullivan started that he finished. There are others he left over, and there are others that this government felt like they don't have the money to continue it. Everybody must not do the same. Owing to the fact that the allocation that was during Sullivan, I think at the stage they were getting about 10 billion or 9 billion. But now it has never exceeded 4 billion now. Further allocation.
Thank you. Odina Rako, you've heard from your friends that the governor has done well. Okay. Are you of the same opinion?
Anyways, there is
because you pointed out that the government lacks capital infrastructure and the non-payment of minimum wage, as well as selling of lands in Enugu State.
Okay. It's good that we have come to the topic that is more interesting to me ever since we started the debate, because I am from Enugu State and I'm not a stranger here. Number one, I want to say that the governor has done his own part. But the truth is, if a leader is expected to give the citizens 99% leadership obligations to what he's supposed to do, he has given us 50. In fact, I don't think he's up to 50, because you should compare other states. Somebody is talking about when Sullivan, how much that was coming in. What's the difference between us and that of Ebonyi State, that of Abia State, that of Imo State? Because number one, all these things they're waiting for them. They will pay it when the election is very close. You notice in Enugu State, they can never, even Sullivan, when he was leaving, they must owe one thing or the other, so that the new government will come and continue from there. That is not leadership. Do you understand? We will not talk about what had he done. The school that just came, it has not even started, and people are making reference to it. Tell me industry that was attracted here. Go to Abia State and see for yourself. See the mushroom stadium that they are hailing him for. How many sitters? Look at even the unemployment. Our youths are given appointment, not employment. And these appointments come by who no man or through talks. They give you to compensate you because you are a talk, or because you know somebody. Even this Roy here. Are you aware that before he was appointed, that there was a call to get somebody from Udenu to be the president of Nsukka Youth General Assembly? Are we talking about the selfishness of what he did to us? Everything we did. Let me tell you something. People just try to,
I pointed. Where, please?
I didn't say you pointed.
I say appointed. You mentioned appointed because we're on air.
Okay, fine. You were elected.
Okay.
Before you were elected.
I want to clear.
The reason why I say it's more of what they do in Enugu State is
I'm not a government appointee.
I know.
When you said appointed,
I'm not talking. I was talking about. No, you are getting me wrong.
No. I'm not saying. I might understand what you're saying.
Calm down.
But the choice of words, because others are going to see it out.
People are going to see it. I'm saying appointments. I'm still repeating what I'm saying. I was not referring to your own position. I said many of the appointments that were even given in Enugu State were given to thugs or who know man based on recommendations. I've never seen any appointment in Enugu State that was given because this person is competent. I saw a lot of supervisors in local government that I know very well that they cannot even write a report, and they were given supervisors because they were recommended. These governments were after recommendations and talks and people that will be loyal even when they are doing wrong. That will give them their 99% loyalty.
Are you calling this kind of a talk?
Excuse me. I said they were. No, you know you people are trying to. Please allow me. When I'm done, you can make your references. I said some of the recommendations come by who know man. I didn't say he's a talk. While other ones are talks. You understand? So the governor has done nothing. The road that he gave to us. Watch that road from now till next 3 years. Go to university, the road leading to Slaughter Road. Are you seeing what the rain is doing there? Go to beach. Are you seeing what the road, the condition of the road at the moment is not even up to 20 years. It's not up to 20 years, and the roads are already trying to see. Let's be sincere. Most of his projects that he executed,
You call it audio achievement.
Most of the reason why it will soon be audio.
Can I come in?
No.
Please, if you interrupt me, I will have problem with. Please coordinate this debate.
Please continue.
Coordinate it, or there will be problem here.
Please continue.
When they were talking, did I talk? If you notice, I've been silent for more than 30 minutes.
Yes.
And I didn't say anything.
Please
so they should allow me to say my mind.
Please continue.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So most time people are trying to bring in, the only university that he brought here. What about do you know how many? What about the old suits that camp people took away from here? This one that just came now, we have not even seen how long they will run it and it will collapse, and they are already making reference to it. They should wait after some years. Let's look at the university. Let's look at the outcome. Or is it going to be like the issue that came and still they took it away? Because you are making reference to achievements that you need to just calm down first and look at it. The only road that I will give recommendation to him is the one from OP. Once you get to Ugoye, forget it. Other ones are not roads. They were just painting it black. Because if you see the road now, you will shed tears. So the reason why I will tell you plainly, local governments are on strike. Are you aware? Who they are saying that local government pays to the primary school this thing. Who pays to the local government? Who give them the money? Now talk about what the local governments were doing with their allocations for the past 8 years. They should bring it to record, because accountability is evaluating. It's not about executing a project, but the evaluation of how the project was executed. Do you understand? So anybody that is saying that he has done well, that he has done this, is just because of their own personal interest. They know the truth. And the Bible says that we shall know the truth until set us free. Because now we are talking about road, the university. Okay, take a look at our what's it called? Our university. This UNN has been here. Look at the drainage from Odim Gate. If you go to Odim, and this Igwan was the governor when they were electing this UNN vice chancellor. In his very before, an Anambra man. I don't. If you're laughing, I will stop talking. Oga, you should respect yourself.
Please continue.
You are behaving as if you are a kid. Somebody is talking and you're laughing. When you start talking, I will start laughing.
Please continue.
That's how I behave. There's no normal person in politics. He will give it to you how you want us to give it.
Please
to you.
continue.
So if he allowed, okay.
You were saying Anambra person is.
Yes. After the former vice chancellor, when this one came, on a normal, if we should look at it in all sincerity, Oboka people, Nsukka people, this UNN has been here. Do you understand? And we cannot say that an Nsukka man was once a vice chancellor in this place. If you go to their employment pattern, mostly professors, an Nsukka man will be professor for years and get blind before they will give him professorship. But go to UNN and see young professor from Anambra, Imo State and all that. And this is what he should have stopped now that he had the opportunity. No matter however he's going to do it. If it was Sullivan, this kind of thing would not happen. Do you understand? So if you tell me that Ugwuanyi has done anything, I will tell you that whatever he has done, that we should, okay, even the satellites, they are falling down. It's not up to 10 years. If you from OP, you see many of them on the floor.
Some people are criticizing Governor Ugwuanyi for favoring Nsukka more, and you're saying he is not doing much for Nsukka people.
How did he favor Nsukka people? How did he was even one of the roads that he was even at those Enugu side. In fact, he gave them more than what he gave us. The flyover over there, how many is here? The OP, this thing that we're talking about, have they started it? Go to Enugu and see for yourself. Anybody saying that he was favoring us more than Nsukka, more than the person is lying. Do you understand? So to cut the whole cut the whole story short, I don't want people to start bringing out his achievements. The only thing that he mentioned here is university and road. And if you go to the road now, if we should go now and video it and paste on Facebook, after rain, you will know that he has done nothing. Do you understand? So nobody should bring in the university or whatsoever. If Ugwuanyi should do what he was supposed to do in 8 years, he did not do it. It's now that he is doing it because election is very close. You understand? Where were he in the even this Oge market? I was expecting him to change the face of Nsukka.
Do you think he's putting up the schools as a panic achievements to get to
yes, after series of cries on social media and series of cries on his phone calls and series of cries from the poor masses, he started to bring that one there. So he's bringing it now because he wants to. Let me tell you, on a normal, we should not vote him for the Senate. Do you understand?
Thank you.
If we should evaluate what he has done in 8 years, nobody should vote him to go back to the Senate.
Thank you.
I think before Roy says something, I like facts. When I'm dealing with issues, I always like to put facts the way it's ought to be. But instead, I followed a federal group on evaluation. She mentioned Ebonyi State. For 4 years, Ebonyi State government has been paying half salary, 50% salary. If it happens in Enugu State, everywhere will be on fire, and nobody is complaining. Civil servant. I'm not talking about minimum wage. Civil servant is there. Go and get it. Anybody that is paying half, if I'm paying half salary in my state, I can build mansion from here to heaven, and people will see it. Do you know what it means to that you are earning 100,000? I'm taking 50,000 from you every month. You are talking about. I'm still coming to Ebonyi State. The man built King David Medical School. Almost, even though the one our governor is building is more than that one. Medical school changed everything. It is now in his name. What they pay as tuition fee there now is 1.2 million. Is on the space. It belongs to him. A whole lot of people in the Ministry of Education in Ebonyi State have resigned. And when you are resigning, you leave the state for him. If he catches you, you are in for it. For resigning alone. Enugu State have never paid anybody half salary. Enugu State is paying an up to date. Instead of paying you half salary, they will even add 13 months on top of it. It's in a country or in a country that is still striving to survive. She mentioned Abia State. She's not up to date. Abia State as it stands now is the worst state in Nigeria. in all economically, infrastructure, and otherwise. Use your Google, go to the states. I have a whole lot of them in Enugu here. They will come and tell you that we are lucky. We are lucky, at least our governor is working and people are seeing it.
We are lucky based on what? Okay, you have mentioned
in
the last
Enugu,
they said what Governor Wanye did.
I'm taking it one by one. In Imo State, she mentioned, and I'm bringing references.
If they are owing,
you campaign
if they are owing, you interrupt me.
No, nobody.
So I'm going to interrupt. If you are owing salary, and there are empirical evidence of what you are doing with it. You understand? Then people will look. Let me tell you something. Even if they are,
accommodate owing of salary because it's not too.
I'm not saying you should. Okay, what of now? No, what of now?
Lord, please.
Now the people are owing. You are referring to
nobody is. See, I think I clarified.
Daniel, please, Roy, before you come in, Enugu State is not owing any worker from civil service or civil servants down to primary school any dime.
Is it the money that they spend?
You understand me? If you are talking about minimum wage, if you are talking about minimum wage, have brought out something here. There is no state in Southeast that is paying secondary school teachers minimum wage. Every other state have actually managed. I think Anambra last 2 months or thereabout managed to be paying civil service minimum wage.
How about the health sector?
30,000 naira. You understand what I'm telling you?
The health too.
Everywhere in our nation need healing. It is not Enugu. Everything. Enugu State have tried.
The health too, uncle.
The WAEC result or the success story in the WAEC is actually a show of what our governor have been doing in education system.
If you don't read, you won't pass.
You understand what I'm telling you? We celebrated it when Obi did it.
What is it
so when Ugwai did it, we celebrate it.
Is it that
if you did not
equip
the school, I don't do toutism interaction.
But you just did. You were laughing.
I will laugh.
You were laughing as if you are.
So when you are doing this thing, you need to be up to date.
No, he was laughing at me.
If you are coming to criticize,
are you not leaving me?
You need to be up to date.
Is it normal? Why is he laughing?
Please,
So you know you don't believe in this thing, but you were laughing at someone that was making her own observations.
Thank you.
You don't have rules here.
Honorable Roy.
You want to
hear from me?
What you don't know.
I think this is a friendly chat. There is no need for us to start shouting at
I was okay once he started laughing. You know, that's one thing that Ugwai did. Some people that are supporting him are mentally debased. They don't have coordination.
Please.
You are laughing on a live debate on air.
It's alright.
It's a very bad signal.
Thank you.
Can you allow me to talk?
If you want to talk, you talk now.
Please. So, the thing is, this is a friendly chat, and we need to talk to each other with respect, and then know that this is also trying to build our also reputation. Now, when it comes to Ugwai, like early enough, before you to actually come to this point, I explained the processes when it comes to the payment of minimum wage and the problem we have with the primary school teachers in the state. And I also want to clarify you, because one thing about argument or debate is that I strongly believe that you debate and argue to learn, not to win.
Learning and relearning.
Yes, no, because we continue to learn and relearn. Now, I must also point out to you that as of today, the allocation of local government goes directly to the local government account.
And after going there, they will remit it back. Are you aware that some chairmen are complaining on how they are remitting money back to the state government?
Thank you.
No. No. Please, I don't want a situation when I never interrupted you. I don't do that. That has always been my pattern of engagement in life. I listen. So please, I also love to be listening. Okay. Offer me the same courtesy that I offered you. Now, when it comes to that, what's the relationship between the chairman and the governor is something that is between them. I'm not coming to here to say, look at what is happening. I'm not a chairman yet. Or look at what is not happening. But I'm just telling you what is happening, that I know that is happening. And look at the way it is. Now, when it comes to Ugwai and Enugu North, I must first to say that, like HK pointed out, some time ago, I made a post whereby I said, can we do a comparative analysis of what other governors in Enugu since 1999 have done in their zone is what Fine Gwen has done in our zone. And everybody will keep on shouting like, how is this person is the best, how this person is not the best, how this person is the best, how is not. I say, give me facts and figures so that we can use it to compare. Like if I say that Ugwani did this, you tell me Ugwani did it. Because there are a whole lot of half-truths and misconception. Even when they come to the rural roads, the ramp project, then people will continue to tell you that it is World Bank project. No, it is World Bank assisted project, not World Bank project. There is something that they call counterpart funding. If it's World Bank project, why is it not going around all the states in Nigeria? There's something that called counterpart funding. First of all, your physical responsibility needs to be, your books, the physical responsibility need to be top notch for you to get into business of projects with World Bank. Now, if World Bank comes in to do rural projects for you, they are the one that's going to bring the contractors. They will now do the vetting and budgeting of the rural areas that you're going to control. Then you pay them counterpart funding. You pay them 40% of the
Now let's
cost.
look at the employment level.
Listen, no, let me see. She said a lot of things, and I have to touch those things that he said. You listen to him, you listen to her, and you kept asking her questions. So I need to touch those areas that he touched as well, so that everybody will know. So don't jump.
Make sure you don't jump the fact that the state government was still collecting the allocation that was given to local government, and that was why they didn't perform very well.
Any local government chairman that is alleging that should come on air and clear it.
You know it's not possible.
No,
that cannot happen.
You know it's not possible.
See,
So it is not anything
But
not
they are
proven is
feeling
not a
pain.
fact.
They are feeling pain because of that.
If it is not proven, it is not a fact.
Okay.
No, I don't like this whole interruption. I don't like this whole
Please
interruption.
finish this debate. Let's go.
See, this is not. I don't like people being angry around me. That's just me. See, I have never quarreled with you.
You did
before.
not caution him when he was like, you know that this is started when he started laughing.
No, and he's not the one
If I
talking.
was making fun of myself, and you should have allowed me to drop.
We
know how
are
this
done
started.
with that
No,
aspect. We want to look at
Don't
No,
like saying
you are
this
not
all
done.
the time.
You are not done. You are not done with that
When he
aspect.
was talking,
No,
I did
she's
not
not
talk.
going to
The
dictate
minute I said my own,
the
started laughing.
tune of this
Odinoraku.
argument.
No, please leave me and
I did
say
not.
it.
I did not laugh
Because
at
it's
you.
you, that's why I'm
Odinoraku,
keeping quiet.
please,
If not, I
please,
will leave
please.
here.
I did not
Odinoraku,
laugh at
please,
you,
please,
and I have not
please,
in any way
please.
insulted you.
Let's continue.
So then, when it comes to the project execution, now, Educate has been able to point out some certain project that the government has done. Why I focus on rural area is that for the first time, many unmotorable rural areas are motorable now. Though some that we pray that should be asphalted wasn't asphalted. Like personally, I was raised to my primary school level in Agomabo.
What can you say about the employment level?
The employment level.
Yes,
No,
under
see,
the current government.
under the current governor. Like there is something that you people keep pushing. Do you understand that? As employment. Now, when you talk about employment, now what we are looking at is there has not been in this country, or in fact anywhere in the world, where state government builds industries. State government doesn't build industries.
They attract it. Oh,
At least, you see,
Okay.
I'm not debating directly with you.
Okay.
No, what they do is there is something that they call ease of doing business. Ease of doing business is to make the political environment favorable for some certain industries to be sited one place to the other. Now, there is one that's happening in 9 Mile, the Lion Business Park.
Yeah.
There is no business park as big as that is. I know that as we speak now, there is a PPP agreement that has been signed for more than 2 years. That serious work is going on at Adarise.
personal business.
So I say PPP. There is something I call public-private partnership. Because there are some certain level of businesses, because of the attitude of public workers, you cannot hand over the business that you have to be self-sustainable in the name of government. We all know that private sector is the only thing that can drive a business that can be self-sustainable. So that's why if you want a particular business to last, that's why you call public-private partnership. Government, the public, that's the government will bring part of the money, then the private sector will bring them, then public sector will run the business while remitting a certain percentage of resources to the government. So that that business can be run efficiently. Now, there is no way government will say, okay, I am building this one. No, you make it environment. And also we have to understand some certain peculiarities. Now, when you talk about having a favorable environment, one has to do with peace. Then secondly has to do with nearest to raw material.
Which requires a lot of money.
Yeah, peace requires a lot of money. Then nearest to raw material. Now, what also we'll be looking at is that what are those business? What are those business? Or what are those raw materials that Enugu State has a comparative advantage to lead a company to site it in Enugu State ahead of other states? Because before a company cites any project in any company in your state, they have to consider the stability of the state and also consider the source of raw material, and then the nearness of the market. So when it comes to that, what government, when it comes to business, there is something that agency that Chilo Fair is running, SME. There is Enugu SME, whereby they have been training young indigenous and giving them soft loan, and sometimes helping them to get grants, international grants. Now it takes cumbersomeness, but that is the way of encouraging SMEs, because in any way when it comes to employment, the driver of every employment in any economy in the world is private sector through SME. God, there is no economy in the world where government employs 5% of the population. No, you don't. You can't. Is private sector driven employment. So your own
Nigeria is different.
No. I'm saying, you see, Nigeria is different because that the private sector is dead.
Take for instance, Sunrise.
So that's why we have
plumbing.
why we have massive unemployment is not because that government is not employing enough. It's because that there is no environment for private sector to employ more. Because even today, believe me, that government employment is too cumbersome. So we're talking about even in the right place that Nigeria public sector is even too large for the economy that we're operating. So that's why payment of salaries and currently federal government wise that our recurrent expenditure takes almost 100% of our revenue.
You're right.
Recurrent expenditure. You know what it means? Payment of salary.
They still borrow more to add.
Do you understand now? Takes 100% of what we are generating. So whatever we are spending on infrastructure is borrowed. You have to borrow for you to do anything. Now, our service ratio to revenue, that we uses 100% of our revenue to service. So is it that we borrow to service the one that have borrowed before, or we use our revenue to service the one that have borrowed before and then borrow to pay salary? That is what is happening in Nigeria now. So the economy of the country is messed up. So the unemployment level, like I said, there is a post that I made today about a regional development.
Are you actually saying that is the main reason Governor Ogwani is finding it difficult to employ people?
No, Governor Ogwani is not finding it difficult to employ people. I don't know if you understand me. It is not his job to employ people. See, governor don't just come and say, because that there are 20 people that are unemployed, and we have office of a clerk in Federal Ministry of Lands. Okay, get me 1,000 people to come and work in the office of clerk in the Ministry of Land. That is not how government is run. Now, government have statutory ministries and agencies and all that. The only way government gets directly involved in employment is when they build new government institutions or new government parastatals. That is when they get directly involved in employing
But
new
remember,
people.
the state have conducted secondary
that,
school teachers' employment.
so apart from that, what they do,
in the local
apart from that, what they
for the past
do,
8 years,
apart from that, what they
we've
do,
not seen any advert that
apart
there's
from
going to be anything like
apart from that,
you,
what they
you
do
cannot see
is
it
what they do is
in the whole local
replacement.
government.
Apart from that, what they do is
No,
replacement.
people will try to
because
defend-
we have statutory employment this thing in the ministries. Now, replacement comes when somebody moves in, somebody retires, somebody dies, and then an opportunity comes, then they replace. So that one is called replacement. Then when they don't build new institution, like this Secretariat Annex, I know they will soon advertise. They've already advertised employment for Ibano. Do you understand? Though it is not, the advertisement is not even the major employment for the school. It's for that first hospital.
The Parkland Annex.
No, not even the teaching hospital. The first hospital, the first building that they built, there was a hospital, a community hospital that is outside there. That's what they advertised for.
Their advertisement is just
So-
to fulfill all righteousness.
so-
people that will teach there or work there.
So when it comes
they are already with the list.
when it comes to
That's one thing that we are talking.
when it comes to say, we need to differentiate between political appointment and civil service job. Now, a local government chairman cannot advertise for supervisors or advertise for SAs. Advertise for this thing is called aids to an executive. Personal aid to an executive chairman or an executive governor. So it is based on personal relationship. I don't know if you understand me. What the people that they think that can work for them, because it is not, you are not working for the state. I don't know if you understand me.
Moving on.
You are working for the person that employed you. Once the person lives there, you live with the
and
person.
Constitution says that they have the right to hire and fire.
Yes, so it is strictly at the mercy of
Of
whoever
the
employs
boss.
you. So it is not something that you come and say, advertise, bring your CV. No.
We're not talking about the appointment. You understand?
So-
We are talking about an appointment. We're talking about
I
employment.
think he should be the one asking me questions.
The Comrade Okechukwu, what do you have to say about the employment level in Enugu State? Are you impressed with the current statistics, the people working? You think we have more appointments, or
You know, there is something Roy said. Appointment is not employment because it ends with that administration. I would say that Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, in his own administration, has appointed a good number of youths. He has given a lot of appointments, but that is not how to judge employment. I will tell you that I am not happy. Unemployment is a problem in the whole country. It's not unique in Enugu State, but we are narrowing our focus on Enugu State.
yes?
I am not happy with the level of employment because the unemployment level is still high. If your question is, has this man made an improvement between last administration and this one, that is a different question. Then we have to go, we can just log in online and see the statistics. We don't need to debate that. Those ones will be facts. You would see that during Sullivan, the unemployment level was this. During Chimaroke, then there are facts online, they are there. But what you are asking me is the employment level in Enugu State. How can I be happy about it? Are you telling me that you think the employment level is good? I will be wondering where you are coming from. There is deep unemployment in Enugu State. There are many jobless people. In fact, those given appointment by the state government, most of them are hitherto jobless. They were roaming the streets and doing nothing, only serving some political leaders in their local government. and then by recommendation or by luck and providence, Enugu and Abuja will pick them. Many of them are jobless, even though they are graduates. So I don't like the employment level.
Giving a graduate an appointment instead of employment, just to keep you so that you will be singing praises till the next election. You know, let me tell you something. Let's be truthful. Do you know you didn't sing? Nobody has ever sang any praise to this more than me. I even do my egara and I sing. But when it comes to truth, I will spill it out. Giving a graduate appointment instead of employment. What are you expecting the person to do after your administration? What will all these people on social media? And the worst part of it is that all of them think that if they are giving an appointment, they should be online insulting people. That's what they are doing. They don't even know their jobs. You understand? That is why I am angry. Do you understand? Because most times we even talk about local government. So my grandma was asking me, when are they not giving up job again in the local government? That it's been long that she heard about it. Because before the team will even come, those inside are already bringing in their this thing.
Moving on, you have repeatedly been saying that Honorable Nsukka is a stooge to the PDP.
This one is a setup. You are setting me up. Because the reason why it's a setup is because you want me to say it the way I want to say it. And I know I will say it the way I will say it. You know, I've been saying it online with evidence. If Ernest can clear himself, I will vote for Ernest. I will not vote for Keza. If he can defend himself with the allegation that is going around about him, that he's somebody that was a beggar, that was not doing anything, he was just wallowing in Enugu. Now I can tell you with my full chest that he bought a Hilux. Who gave him the money? How? You know, let me tell you something. I uploaded the receipts where Okeza bought
his nomination form.
You understand? Yes. Do you know that a Labour Party, has right to give certificate of return to their candidates? But before the primary, everybody is an aspirant, just like Ernest, and it was given to Okeza. Why was it not given to him? You know, he should come and clear the air. I'm posting it because I want him to speak to us. Well, during the rally, he was the one with us. Ernest was with us during Obi's rally in Nsukka. So there's no way we will leave him and go and vote for Okeza, who was nowhere during the primary. But it was when the news started coming that he was not running for election, that he's there for, just like what happened, what Ogara did. You know what Ogara did? After this thing, he stepped down and said he's no longer. So we want a strong opposition, not someone that will step down, and that's why we want him to come and clear us. I'm not saying that he's a stood though, but I'm saying since the news is flying that he's a stood, let him come and clear the air.
Can I speak on that? Let me speak on that.
One thing, I will have to say something here. Why I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at her. Why I'm laughing is this: that we are doing social media criticism shouldn't make us to start using some words on some people. I like facts. Even before being appointed in Enugu and government, there are some certain level of people I'm not working for. Even in PDP, even as a PDP member in other parties, I still write and commend them in what they do. I still criticize them. If you check my level of things online, I don't come and start, except the abado we normally use and joke and all those things. There are limits to everything. One, I believe tomorrow, I've been engaged politically since 2005 as a young orphan. I've been into this game. So coming to Ernest issues, Ernest is among the first people that left PDP. First set of people that left PDP. Anybody accusing Ernest of him and me, I can tell you that I know the reason why he left. I know what some people said about him when he left. Coming back to say that he's now governor of reality on ground. Secondly, you can't come and say that Ernest, the chairman of Association of Proprietors, Enugu State Chapter, is roaming around jobless. The two schools Ernest has not less than 2,000 employers. You are saying that he's jobless. there are limits to some certain things. Before we start opening mouth to say some certain things, I always like to make inquiries. When people we are talking about Ebonyi State, I never got to engage anybody on it until I joined 1 or 2 groups to go and investigate. Abia State, same thing. And again, I always say it. I don't know when we are actually going to round off, but I will also make it. I know some of us youths are listening. We desire for change and every other thing, but why doing it? Don't match the leg that tomorrow you will need it to stand. It's very, very vital. It's very important. I don't use because Mr. A is insulting and go and start insulting others. Most time I sit down and laugh. So coming back to NSTK, I have 3 friends whom their kids are in the school, and the urban law, if you don't know how your pocket is, you cannot put your child there. And I've been running that school for more than 10 years now. 2 schools, nursery, I think he has secondary school now where he also have where he's building his permanent site, if not completed. And you say that he's roaming around, he's jobless. People are not jobless. Most of the people, for example, the SPA to govern on agric worked with a renowned oil company in US. He came, Obiano brought him back to Anambra State. I'm coming, please, I just want to give you a background of something. Obiano brought him back to Anambra State. Ugwani requested that he should be brought to him. And he is doing some transformation in agric sector. If you ever heard of agric business, Enugu Agric Business School, he's training some young people, giving them grants, taking them to Nasarawa, training them, bringing them, helping them to access funds in CBN. And while all these things are going on, people are busy saying that he's a stooge or all those things. No, everybody is not the same level. We must make it. If you have a issue with a particular person, go straight to the person. Don't generalize it. It's my life. So please, there are more intellectuals and more people that can survive outside Uguayan's government. Like 90% of the appointees can survive outside Uguayan's government. They don't. These people have been working, doing international things before they were requested to come to do. Chilofia was working at the regional manager Fidelity or thereabout. The regional manager Fidelity. I have another friend who was also working in CBN. He's an SPA in this government. All of them living fine. Dubemonya, you can say that the SPA to the governor on water resources, Dubemonya Jr. is a jobless person. There are people in every system, even in the US, there are something that is called political settlement. Even in the US, you still have touts in the US. That is why people can go to the House of Reps, go there, mob the House of Reps members in the US, because they felt that the man who is feeding them is being insulted. We should learn politics. Politics played with emotion cannot take us anywhere.
From his points about NS, whatever NS was doing,
Afro-wise, who doesn't know Afro-wise?
Let me come. Truly, he might be right. Do you understand? And this is why the youths are yearning for him to, come and clear the air. Most times why people feel they are strong in accusation is because when you are being accused and you don't come to clear
of the opinion that you should come out
openly and defend yourself. You understand? Because if not, because he is here saying that he has schools, I've not seen it even his media are not bringing it in. You understand? But people, those that feel that they want to criticize him, will always come up with the other one, and they will hide his strength. Even Toto Dike said that people, whenever he has a breakfast, people will trend it online. But when he do good, don't trend it. Now, the truth of the matter is this. When we start hearing about him being a stud, we were with him during the rally. And we, even if you check my listing, you will see where I was posting NS. Until we needed, even when we called him, he didn't, personally, somebody was giving me, I called him, but he didn't pick. He doesn't know my number. You understand? I wanted to get facts.
He recently pointed out that his wife attended a rally organized by
not a rally, the pilgrimage stuff. It's not a rally.
And I think she ended up not attending that pilgrimage. She didn't go.
Let me tell you, let me tell you something. You see, if she didn't go, is none of our business. We saw her there in the meeting.
Please don't be offended.
You
I want to tell you
That's why
the
she
list
should
of
clear
that
the air.
privilege.
She shall clear
The list,
us.
Can
the
I
list
say-
of that
Listen
privilege
is-
have been there since
Can I
2020.
say something?
But because of COVID-19, because of COVID-19, they didn't leave.
Can I say something?
I know some people that are even in APC
You are the only
now
one
that attended that
that
privilege.
you did not go.
You understand what I'm saying?
She-
The list has
because
been there
he's-
since 2020. So even if she attended that privilege, all of them have bought for that list, and most of them, like I know 60% of them paid for themselves. I know some, even an APC governorship aspirant in Enugu paid some for some people.
I also
They are doing it on their
people
own.
that bought and they did not go because they're no longer a PDP. So her going is not even a crime. What we are trying
They
to
bought this year or bought 2020 because the list this last batch now we are 2020 people.
Do you know he
2020 batch is even a national is you can google it and see it
Let me
at the national privilege board
now
Nigeria, not Enugu state, national board. You can google it and see that it is 2020 batch that left this year. So you google it, you come with fact and place it.
let me tell you something. That woman picture is there. And it was taken. It was when they gathered, we saw her there. We didn't see if all of them didn't post their pictures when because it's not a personal stuff. But in the hall, she was there. You understand? If she didn't go there again, let her come and tell us that she did not go.
Everybody must not come on social media.
Even if
like
not
me, if you are going personal on me, I can't come after you.
There is nothing
I don't have
that
anything.
you will say that
I don't have
make me
anything to do.
believe that she did not go.
Everybody
you understand?
don't need to come on
I'm not
social
saying
media
she
and
should go.
talk.
She
Afro
went
Wise
there.
cannot come on social media and say that he's doing school business before you believe that he's doing business.
Okay, Peter Obi that was telling Nigerians what he was doing, what is giving him money. He doesn't know why he's saying it because he was once a governor. If not him coming to tell us that this is how he's making his money, people say that he made his money from the government.
Do you know what I would
Can I say something?
This thing that three of you are discussing, I don't know much about it. I don't know that man, but I can understand what we are discussing. That somebody is a stooge in another party, sent by or being sponsored by somebody. What I believe is this. You see, during Shagari, you know Shagari?
Sure, Shagari.
Ex-president, Fela accused him of something. A very simple thing. He said this man is not outspoken. He doesn't talk. That was a problem Fela had with him. He said this man should be talking so that I will know what he's planning. I agree with the oracle.
I should defend himself.
That man should defend himself. People are not witches and wizards. Issue of public consent. You know, there's one problem our politicians have. I'm generalizing now. They are mute. People don't know that thing is a big offense. If you are gunning for a public post or you have gotten into a public position, you owe people the responsibility of talking. If you don't want to talk, go and see.
Those that are talking are being accused that they are talking wrong.
Can I say something?
I don't
That
know
is if
about
he's-
I don't know
I've been asking you
about
this thing.
No, that is if he comes
and
online
then
and
keep
talks
on going
something.
round and round
Please
and
continue.
round and round.
This
I
is
don't-
a very big
I don't
accusation
like
that can
it.
tag
Please
his
continue.
political
Please continue.
career forever.
he should
Please
defend
continue.
himself.
Please
Is that not
continue.
simple?
Because you know the funny
Clear
thing.
the air.
The funny thing because I was asking you. Let me say something about this
Please continue.
because I can tell you that I basically know more than you that's saying this thing. And NS is a personal friend. He's like a brother to me. When NS wanted to run for office, he invited me to his house. Me and Pascal. We discussed at length. Told me his reasons. That was at a point, that was the time we were, I think that was immediately we finished pushing the issue of Pat, and Pat has already gone down after the primaries. So he invited me and Pascal. And then he told us his plans. He wants to run for House of Representatives on the Labour Party. What many people don't know is that the first money NS made in his life was through P2B. NS has been working with P2B since P2B was the governor of Anambra State. The bosses P2B bought for public schools in Anambra, public and missionary school in Anambra. It was NS that tracked them for P2B.
We don't know.
No, allow me to finish. Now, we're not saying that you should be a witch or a wizard. But there is some allegation you made here with so much audacity for somebody that is completely ignorant of somebody that you don't know. You came up here and said with so much audacity that he's a jobless person roaming around Enugu.
Enugu is uncalled for
Why would you say that?
reason.
You don't know anything about his life. And if you say that publicly, then that means you have said it to somebody else. Now, as people that are educated, there are some things that are not difficult to know.
Gogo.
For crying out loud, as you cannot tell me, see, there is some power you don't give people on media. You don't give power to people on media to defend yourself anytime they call you out. Because believe me, 90% of people that originate calling you out knows the truth. And the reason why they are calling you out is to rattle you so that you keep on defending yourself all the time. So if you defend yourself in this one, they have given them the power to call you out again in another thing and keep giving you allegation on top of your head, and you'll be on defense forever. You don't do that. Now, you have your phone, for crying out loud.
I think that's your personal view.
No,
That's not my
no, allow me to finish. I didn't counter you.
Imagine P2B
Let me tell you
going on
something.
Don't tell you. I'm still talking.
But he does.
He did.
I'm still
He
talking.
does not. He does not.
I am still talking, for crying out loud.
Can you imagine?
I am still talking.
He says go and verify.
I am
all
still
of this
talking.
topic.
I am
you see
still
that very
talking.
topic, that
Don't
statement I made.
don't shish
I'm
me.
very, very wrong
Don't
on that.
shish me.
But you
Don't shish
saying he should not come and defend himself.
No,
that
listen
means
to
you
me.
people are his problem.
Listen, don't shish me.
You are the one
Don't
telling
shish.
him not to come and say.
Let me tell you
himself.
something.
And it's very wrong.
Let me continue, please. So now, this is earnest.
You know,
Now,
I take
one
my
thing
offenses
that
on and
one
say
thing
sorry
that
immediately.
one thing that everybody knows is that Ernest is the chairman of private school proprietors in the state. Unless you have never did anything about him. Like, if you stand up and say that you don't know that Ernest is the chairman of private school proprietor in the state, that means that you are completely ignorant of whom he is. At least, even P2B, before P2B started telling you this, there are some things that you have googled about him. As a person now, any person that comes into public limelight that I am interested about anything to comment about it, I research. It doesn't take anything to be in your bed and research to do some basic research about the person and know them. So this is whom NS is, and believe me, for somebody to be the chairman of private school owners in the state,
whatever you know about him is your
it
personal
means
business.
that NS is not jobless. He owns a private school.
I have taken back my words.
Now going forward. Now,
so forget
when
about that one.
When NS went to I think the last conference, the private school proprietor conference in the state, it was P2B was the keynote speaker. NS brought him. That was even before P2B started running for the president that he's running now. So when NS now was starting to run, I told him, our conversation, I gave him, look at. He said, okay. I told him, for your House of Rep ticket, as somebody that I respect most, that there is a way I do my own operation. I will support you. But I have a good relationship with the PDP candidate. This is not a do or die affair. I am going to tell him, the person I just made a big candidate, that a personal friend of mine that I have been in deep relationship with is running for this. I'm not going to insult him. I'm not going to campaign against him, but I will campaign for you. You understand now? But that will be when campaign starts and everything settles up.
Now,
we say fine and good. Now, the reason why he went for Senate was, I was personally even contacted that they were looking out for people that are influential enough to run for Senate. They need to get people in various positions to run for Senate. My dear, just like I said here earlier, most of the people that are claiming Labour Party champion here never believed in P2B, never believed in Labour Party ab initio. But because that the movement have now garnered national momentum, everybody wants to rush into that. So these people were reached out to They backed out. They didn't want to. There is no way somebody is going to win from Labour Party. Who knows about Labour Party? I don't want to come and spend my money in Labour Party. Blah 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 blah. So because that there is somehow for Labour Party to have a senatorial, House of Rep candidate without having a senatorial candidate, who is the first point of call in other zones. NS was now had to switch from being because the first ticket he picked was House of Reps, Nsukka Igboeze South. We now have to switch from there to the senatorial ticket. Then after switching to senatorial, even when Pascal was the one that called me, have I heard that Ernest picked form to run for Senate? I said no. I said no, I have not heard it. I discussed with him. See, I am always very open to every person that I'm working with. I discussed with him. For Senate, I have been open and made it obvious. I am supporting the family of Ugwan. Because since I've been the president of Nsukka General Assembly, almost everything that I have done for people, almost the community service that I've carried for people, it has already been through the support of the family of Ugwan. All this, most 99% of politicians in our zone don't help people. They don't.
With your office as the president of Nsukka, are you supposed to even get involved in openly in the politics you are playing?
You see,
your position. You are serving the public. Every youth in Nsukka is you are supposed to be neutral.
Do you know the mistake?
You coming online to come and say you work with this, is even very wrong.
The mistake that you people make is
your office is a public office.
You people are usually
you come and support this one. You don't support this one.
You people are very very audacious when it comes to some ignorance on the vocabulary of some things. There is a difference between partisanship and that politicalness.
Participation and
there is
involvement.
There is contrast. See, partisanship is when you said, yes, I am a PDP member, and this thing is for PDP alone.
Carry member.
A politicalness is when you say, no, I don't involve in politics. No, I cannot be president of the youth and not involved in politics.
You are not involved in politics.
See, I am involved in politics.
You are involved with candidates.
Even
the Sugar Coin house, the man that contested, what's his name? You know, when you were handing him the form or online, you understand? People said the Nsukka General Assembly bought form for a contestant. A public office is buying form for a person.
And I clarified
you you cannot clarify the fact that you were handing over the form to him.
Listen to me. You people always shout. Shouting is not any measure of intelligence.
He does not win an election.
I clarify this thing to you. Chukwuemeka Asogwa is a member of Nsukka General Assembly. We did a town hall meeting. Some concerned youth, led by CEO Williams, Nosu Gunweze, brought form that because of help that Emeka had rendered for them, that they bought form for Emeka Asogwa. And asked me, as the president of Nsukka, that I should help present it to Emeka Asogwa. I can't say no. But in my speech, see, you know one thing I loved about that? Everything that happened in that town hall meeting was streamed live. In my speech, I made it known to him that he is one of us. But we are not PDP members. Neither are we PDP delegates. But as young persons, that if God help him, he emerges as the flag bearer of his party, being one of us that we support him. It was live and streamed live. So whatever you make, just like, see, we are living in a social media frenzy world. That once you see something happens in social media, bam, you carry it and then add your own Maggi and salt and pepper and then publish it, bam, and then expect somebody to come and start begging you, no, this is not the way it is. No, I don't do that. I have the way, like, before that happened, there is something I made. Nsukka General Assembly have official handle. I'm the president of Nsukka General Assembly. Omeje Nekati is the publicity secretary of Nsukka General Assembly. Any news about Nsukka General Assembly that did not emanate from me or the publicity secretary, it is not coming from Nsukka General Assembly. It's as simple as that. So I am not going to live in a world whereby you people are going to bait me that whatever you people say on social media, I'll come and rush to hear that. People keep insulting me every day. You know, so I see it as the bane of holding the public office or being in the public. But also there is something I'm telling people. So to a reasonable extent, Ugwani spoils the young person in the social media space. where people think that manufacturing lies and obvious propaganda
against each other
is criticism. Like now, you are come to a point whereby you are going to publicly to defame somebody, lie against somebody, accuse the person unjustly, and kill the person's image. Then when the person takes it up for you to come and prove it legally, the next thing is that if you cannot contain public criticism, don't be a politician.
Now, some people said that you are a double-edged sword. You work for the PDP, you also work for Labour Party.
Yeah, that's exactly when I say that I am not partisan, but I am political. I cannot be a political. My job is, when you are elected as a person, when you're elected as a person to lead a socio-cultural organization, now you cannot stay away of politics. Now your job is to look at the peculiarities of those that are contesting in various positions under your own purview, and know, based on your own assessment of your team, which is going to be the best for your people, and you pull your weight behind the person. That's why I can support one in PDP and support P2B in Labour Party. Then nobody, personally now, as the president of Nsukka General Assembly, so people like Oracle, if I go all out for P2B, I'm not being partisan. I'm being a good person. Right? Why
are you mentioning?
Why I go all out? But if I
I'm not even up for level.
If I go all out
there
for,
are people I will not
if I go all out for people
that
some people don't like, now I am now being partisan and I shouldn't involve myself in that. No, so you cannot eat your cake and have it. Now, in my position, just like I said, people will like to box you to a corner where you become completely irrelevant so that you'll be forgotten.
It's emotional.
It's emotional blackmail. Now, these people that are boxing you in a corner, if they find yourself in the position, the same thing that they're accusing you, criticizing you of, they will do it times 100. And they will call this madness. So I'm grown. You understand? I've been in the public eye. You understand? For a very long period of time. So I know all these things. So I know how it works.
Please, there is something I would like to add to
ending about Afriwa's own. So ending about Afriwa's own. It is a lie from the pits of hell that Afriwa was planted. Big lie from the pits of hell.
Until we hear from him.
No,
Roy.
so if you
hear from him, you will not believe
if you are saying,
we will believe him.
if I can tell you this, if I can tell you this that I'm telling you, and you still don't believe him, see, Afriwise, what evidence is Afriwise going to present to you? Is that Afriwise is he going to present to you like a satellite image of what he has done since the way he was born?
No.
To know that there was no way he was planted. What evidence? You see, from when you started, you made it think that what convinced you is the fact that he got a helix and he was jobless.
No. That
was.
You are speaking for yourself.
That was the way you put it. That was the way you put it.
No, that's how you understand.
I have clarified
you cannot
that this person is somebody that is very rich. Like as a young person, he can fend for himself. Do you know what it means for somebody to buy, like 5 plots of land to develop a private school in the heart of Enugu? That person can literally buy any car that he wants to drive.
Just two things for the whole Nsukka to be okay. All these tensions on social media will end. There is an allegation that Labour Party did not see any evidence. You understand that he bought the form by himself, and in their bank statement. There is nothing like I'm not saying it's truth. I said it's an allegation. They are not seeing his name there, or when he paid in the money, or how he bought it. You understand that if he can, I don't care about what he is doing. Even if he's a poor man, my boss Petandi was not doing anything when they made him chairman. He can publicly tell that he was having 750 naira in his account. But today he has healers, he has many cars, he on his own. We don't care about what we care is this one. I've uploaded the one I can get, which is Okeza. You understand? If only NS can clear us. I want to tell you, every Nsukka youth every Nsukka youth will give him, even me, Oracle, will give him my vote.
So you are saying that he's here to present his nomination form publicly?
Yes, we want all those things, those two things, and we are okay. We don't want to talk about schools and all that. It's
I
not
want to
the
clear
case.
things in that organization. But before I go into that, I will say it. Ernest is older than everybody claiming tickets of Labour Party in Enugu State. Is older than them in that Labour Party. I can say it anywhere. I'm not a Labour Party member. In Labour Party. Okeze did his Labour Party and left Labour Party.
Do you know what it means by being older?
No, tell me how.
What it means like that he has been there. He was there before other people came in.
Now that
it was Ernest that also brought P2B to Urban FM.
Of course.
I was aware because the general manager of Urban FM is a friend. Ernest brought him to Urban FM even while the crisis was going on. So coming to the organization issue. When I was national president of Nkanu Student, there is something I did, you are aware. There's something I did. My organization cannot adopt anybody as a candidate. No matter who you are and how much you have. But I, Ejike Nnadi, Constitution of Nigeria and Constitution of youth, all the youth organizations in the whole world made me to be partisan. That I can, even as a leader of a youth organization, participate politically as long as it does not interfere with the organization I'm leading. So I've not seen him done anything wrong. But I want to also ask a very vital and important question. What is even wrong that youth organizations start buying forms for their members?
Who said it's wrong to buy form?
No, I'm asking you, I'm interacting with you. What is even wrong with it? It's high time.
You are interacting with us.
It's high time we start doing things the normal way. Youth presidents of organizations has the right to participate politically. They have the right. Chimarego was being accused of on Twitter the other day of vying for political position or doing this or doing that. He said that Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria have never said that he should not run. That if you know the section it is in the Constitution that you shouldn't run the Senate of Enugu Senatorial District, that you should come and quote it. But if you don't, go and support whomever that you want to support. That it is not a must.
Now, finally, are you worried about the growing popularity of the Labour Party in Enugu State? Do you think the Labour Party will?
There's no growing popularity in any way. Those who are in Labour Party are PDP members. Those who are in APC are PDP members. There is something I said about APC last time. And I said that I'm a close friend of the APC governorship candidates. A close one for that matter. And I will tell you something. I told somebody the APCs are contractors in Abuja and PDPs in Enugu. Same as 80% of those who are in Labour Party. Until you bring a crop of leaders together and say that they want to change the system, those who have been in the system should not condemn the system. They are part of the problem. There is no cause for alarm. Because you can't come. What are you coming now to come and convince me to vote for you? No. That the system you were part of for 7 years, you did not resign when you see those things wrong. That you want to change it. It is practically impossible.
Are you worried that the Labour Party, because of the popularity it's getting, because of the Peter Obi project, will likely sweep the PDP out of power in Enugu State?
No. See, like I said, I'm not worried for PDP. Neither am I worried for Labour Party. My only worry is Peter Obi. Like there's something I said earlier, and I will quote it here. I started campaign for Peter Obi before Ernest. Even the same Ernest that is running for Annie Kwekuyekita. I started the campaign. At a point, I kept pushing Peter Obi's campaign, all his videos, all his analysis. I kept pushing it. At a point, he would constantly come to thank me for everything I'm doing for Peter Obi. For Peter Obi eventually moved. Now, when it comes to Enugu State, in fact, when it comes to Southeast, there is a growing consensus. Southeast are Republican in nature. We don't have somebody that speaks for us. But there is one thing that magically has always happened in the Southeast.
But Ohanes Ndibo.
Ohanes Ndibo doesn't speak. They are there as the upper socio-cultural, but they doesn't give all that any person follows. But when it comes to national politics, something interesting has always happened in the Southeast.
We have pattern of voting national.
We always have a way of having a consensus without even having somebody that is directing us for the consensus.
Sure.
We always vote that place that we think that this is whom we believe that is going to do better.
When it comes to Enugu State,
listen, I'm coming. Okay. That has always been us. Now, when it comes to the state, just like you rightly pointed out, most people in Labour Party, 90% of the people in Labour Party are PDP. Now, the only people in Labour Party that is challenging PDP are those people that one or two of their interests in the PDP wasn't protected or actualized during this recently concluded primary election. I don't know if you understand me. Now, this is where the problem comes in. Like I used to say, I don't like saying I am there, but I have been privileged to be in a position where I can be able to sit where one or two things are being discussed. And believe me, to the reasonable highest equivalent of power in the state wants it to be. There is general sentiment in the Southeast region that for the first time there is a chance that we have a credible person from the Southeast that can become the president of Nigeria through P2B. Now, we have a situation in the Southeast that Labour Party are not yet recognizing, that politics is interest-based. Politics is interest-based. And every man is intrinsically selfish. Self-centered. So, this thing in the binance, ayadmumum e krionye. Are you from Nsukka? Okay. In the binance, ayadmumum e krionye. Every politician that has that as their number one philosophy, them first. Now, every person is obedient. Every person is obedient. Everybody wants P2B. And so far we said it, this P2B support is not about Labour Party. It doesn't have to be with Labour Party. If P2B move from Labour Party to COA today, legally, this support base is going to move from Labour Party to COA. And this P2B built this brand without nobody's help in Enugu State. Nobody helped him. Now, we have a situation whereby people want to take advantage of P2B's popularity to insert their own selfish interest. By thinking that because PDP did not accommodate me, I want to use P2B's popularity to fight against PDP. And that is the mistake that's happening all over the Southeast. That is wrong. P2B, to win this president, need to win Southeast by at least 90%. Like for P2B to win this president, need to win this Southeast by 90% vote. And the only way to do that, he cannot afford to have a situation of local infighting. This is a major problem. Now, we have a situation whereby people are picking form to run against sitting governors. People are picking form to run against sitting senators. People are picking form under Labour Party. Now, those people picking form didn't even believe in P2B ab initio. They just want to take advantage of the popularity. Now, you find yourself in a situation whereby they want, just in their fight, not to win for P2B, but to win for themselves. They want to trigger a confrontation with the powers that be in this local environment. Now, which inadvertently is going to force the powers that be to fight back. I don't know if you understand me. Now, let me tell you, there is something that people are not understanding. See, like I said earlier, I have been involved in voter registration till it ended. Like, sponsoring people for voter registration ended, I knew what I encountered. I knew the demographic that I registered most. The young person started registering when the P2B wave came. But something that I did almost 8 months before the P2B wave. And it was only old people that were registering. And something that we must identify is this. One thing. If it got to a point whereby they make it a PDP versus Labour Party showdown in Enugu State, P2B will lose Enugu State. I'm not missing well about, like, if it comes to a situation whereby for the fight of the local interest, they make it a PDP versus Labour Party showdown.
Local interest.
Local interest. What I mean by local interest is Labour Party want to remove PDP in House of Reps, Labour Party want to remove PDP in House of Assembly, Labour Party want to remove PDP in Senate, Labour Party want to remove PDP in Governor.
Are you talking about the interest of the people or the politicians?
Listen now. See,
I just want
listen to me. There is a place that I'm coming. What I mean is, the people that you're talking about, don't make it look like that those people in PDP are not the people as well.
I have something to say.
Listen to me. I want to know that. Don't make it look like those people in PDP are not the people too. What I'm talking about is that I have been part of election. And I know how election is being played on election day. Why we are building the support base for P2B, we should be mindful not to go and pitch P2B at loggerheads with people he shouldn't be at loggerheads with. Just because that other people that have local interest want to use his influence to get to one position or the other. Like I said, Chimaroke is not going to lose on Kano in his senatorial bid. There is no way Peter Amba is going to lose on Kano in his senatorial bid. There is no way Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi is going to lose his Senate bid to Kezia or NS Ikugu. I'm making my own analysis.
Okay, your own analysis.
There is no way. I don't know who is running for Enugu West that RG and Omihuku and these people is going to lose their bid in that zone. Now, if it comes to a situation, because like we have acknowledged, vote buying and monetary inducement is a very powerful tool in the political system of Nigeria today.
Till tomorrow.
And if you don't recognize your strength and also recognize your weaknesses, you might find yourself of making a grave mistake. You get yourself in the pool. What is going to take PDP is to double their preparation. I will give you an example of what's happening in Ekiti. Fayemi is coming in Ekiti. I was one of the people that conducted the election.
As a core member
then. I'm one of the people that conducted the election as a core member then. Then that was when Oshokomole, Fayose was leaving. Now, Oshokomole was so loved in Ekiti that like Fayemi wasn't really scratching anything. He brought a professor, Eleka, to be his successor, his deputy.
Is it Adams or Shomole?
No, Ekiti State. Fayose. Then he brought his deputy, a professor, Professor Eleka, to battle it against Fayemi of APC. It was PDP and APC. PDP was well loved. Now, what PDP was doing is that anywhere they come, there were rallies and there were everything. They were sharing money. Fayemi was keeping his money, but people were complaining, saying that Eleka don't want to talk. They also had their base and all that. What happened in the election day is that Eleka knew that he was losing the popular vote. He knew that there was no way he's going to contend with Fayose in the popular vote. So what he did is that he prepared twice Then what he now did is that a night before the election, what they used to bring money to Ekiti State was helicopter.
Thank you.
So on the day of that election, what he simply did is that he mobilized enough, because if any person is going to tell you that in this election and nobody is going to collect money to vote, then the person is living in food paradise. He mobilized enough resources to bring it to Ekiti.
Thank you.
And we're sharing twice the money that PDP were giving. And do you know what they were doing? They don't give you money until you show them where they will vote. Now, believe me, that if what PDP needs is not a situation whereby we have Labour Party fighting PDP in the southeast, because he completely needs the block vote. In fact, if PDP wins...
Are you also insinuating that it has come to that point where Governor Ogwai has to reserve or conserve resources to battle the upcoming election?
No, I'm not saying that it's coming to a situation. What I'm trying to tell you is that we are talking about the ruling party here. And there is no way in the campaign Labour Party is going to outspend, because politics is money and it's costly. And everybody's going to lie to you if they say they're not spending. There is no way Labour Party is going to outspend PDP in Enugu State in their preparation. And there is something that people have not noticed. I have never seen a PDP candidate in the South that is putting up the picture of Atiku Abubakar alongside them. So we shouldn't have it in a situation whereby.
But do you know why? Do you know why they are not putting it?
We know the reason.
We shouldn't.
Do you
listen now? See,
No, I'm not countering
listen
you.
now. We are
agreeing with
this
you.
is something I'm going to tell you, that generally there is an intrinsic sympathy
Towards Obi.
by
Right,
every stakeholder, but they will be forced to move against Labour Party if their interest, local interest, is being threatened by those people that are trying to take advantage of Obi popularity. And Obi getting, even if Obi wins Southeast by 60%, is a failure on his part. I don't know if you understand me. If he wins Southeast by 60%, it's a failure. Because we don't have much vote. The only thing that we have always been able to do is to give somebody a block vote. So when you lose 40% of your base, where are you going to get others? And see, even if we all know that, even if the ruling party in any state is going to lose their state, there's no way they are going to lose their state below 40%. So let us not have that issue of it is we against PDP. No, the target is P2B.
Thank you.
And it's in the federal
Thank
election.
you. Thank you.
After
I have something to
Thank you.
add to all this. You see, Roy, I'm reacting to your analysis. What you said is an indictment upon PDP.
very bad.
These things you have said does not put PDP in good light. If you are telling me that PDP will win Labour because they will induce people with money, then you are saying indirectly that PDP is not popular, that they are going to buy people's conscience. The question I can put to you is this: if we go to the ordinary people now, not people like you who are close to the people in power, and ask them if they are happy with PDP, what do you think will be the answer? The answer is no. The answer is no.
You can't ask and answer.
Let him continue. Now.
I am the one talking.
No, you asked me a question now. You said you are asking.
In fact, this thing I'm telling you, I don't need to ask you.
Okay.
Go online, you're gonna see it. People are expressing it.
The Edeoga effects.
Wait, I'm coming.
No,
sorry.
this
Let me
topic is
finish
important.
this
Let me finish.
before the
Let him
second
finish.
question. You see, PDP is very wicked to the southeast. Very wicked to the southeast. I will repeat my word. They have always failed the southeast.
One party system. That's why they are.
How? Starting from Ekweme
Alex Ekweme.
down to today. Even what is happening to PDP now is nemesis, because Obi offered himself to PDP. What happened? They chickened him out.
And he left.
But bulk votes from southeast supported Obasanjo. from the west. PDP is the only region in Nigeria that is loyal. Sorry, the southeast is the only region that is loyal to PDP. If you go to the west, they are majorly APC. Now,
The same thing happens to South.
even the north. But PDP has always been the major party. At the point, it looked like it's an Igbo party. What has
Enugu
PDP
party.
done for the southeast? How have they projected the Igbo interest? How? It is only a fool that is also blind that would imagine that PDP is highly acceptable. I'm a card-carrying member of PDP, by the way. Let me just tell you. But there is this inherent character in PDP that I so much hate. PDP takes many things for granted. Even the internal conflict we are talking about, are they all necessary? The way PDP treats people makes them to get angry and get frustrated.
Now, what we are talking about is the Edeoga effects. Are you
Okay, I can discuss Edeoga. I can discuss it in simple words.
Do you think with the growing popularity of the Labour Party in the Peter Obi project, he has a greater chance of winning the election?
You mean Edeoga now?
Edeoga.
You know, there is one thing we need to observe here. People are sympathetic towards Edeoga. Sympathy is important in politics. Edeoga was maltreated. Unless you don't want to tell the truth.
By
How
who?
would they tell it?
By PDP. By the party.
But he also served under the PDP.
Of course, now, see the way it appears. This man was serving in the party. He was holding a position, appointed position. We know how PDP runs the state. If you want to go somewhere, you Daniel, and you say, I want to be a councillor, the party will tell you, it's not your time. It is Roy's time. Don't worry. We will give you this one. Let Roy go. Next time you come. That way, PDP has maintained stability. And you see people say, I'm still serving, hoping that someday they will come up. That sincerity is what I would have appreciated if it was used towards Edeoga. But Edeoga, it's more like he was made a fool. It's like you ask somebody to carry a bag of salt and you fetch the rain against it. You get the point? And that the man does not talk a lot. And when people don't talk a lot, sentiment and sympathy can rise. People might be thinking that he's crying in his house. Maybe he's not actually crying, but that's how he looks now. So that sympathy is a big tool. Let me tell you, I disagree with Roy totally. If PDP should be careful. They are losing out. The PDP is crashing. Do you
They
follow?
have crashed. It's not that they are
PDP
crashing.
is losing popularity. I am sounding it now. They should do something about
I
it.
say something?
You liken the Labour Party as to a hurricane. Do you also agree that
do you know
Edeoga has
that
a chance?
those in Labour Party today is a coalition of the concerned? It's not a party. If Edeoga and co, I won't say all of them, because some that will enter Labour because of their own self, that one is there. Even those in PDP that are there for their own selfish interests, that one is there. But you see Edeoga, because definitely you can't just come and win election without being in a party. You understand? So whatever that is happening in Enugu State now is a coalition of the concerned. People that their rights, people that their greatness, people that their mandates have been trampled upon for years. They are coming together to be a voice. Do you know, excuse me, that during the primary, Edeoga was the only candidate that was permitted to meet with delegates. Governor gave the order. Even when he knew that he won't give him that ticket. He was spending millions. He made the call and said, that they should allow him meet with the delegates after spending money. Edeoga was one time a local government chairman in Nsukka. They did not allow him to finish his tenure. House of Reps did not allow him to finish his tenure. A lot of injustice. And a man said, let him go and try his luck here. Maybe it will favor him. It is not Southeast inciting P2B against PDP. You see their strength from Roy speech. That the only thing that PDP will do is to double the money they are going to use and buy.
I don't want to be misquoted.
Is not what he said.
I don't want to be misquoted.
Let me finish. The vote buying he talked about.
I am still here.
How do they?
No. When somebody misquotes me, I like to correct it.
You will correct me. You will correct me. You will respond to me. You said vote buying. How do they buy votes? Is it not with money? No, now let's be sincere. You buy votes with money. You meet people to buy votes from them. So he's saying that they know however they are going to do it to buy their votes, and that's what will make them win. Now, Roy have been posting this thing on Facebook that some selfish people want to use Labour Party, to because of Obi's popularity. Let me tell you something. Is it not by one man called Jesus that they said the redemption came? Why can't the Southeast redemption come because of Obi's movement? Why are we tagging it inciting? Obi's emergence is for redemption for the Southeast. PDP, because of monopoly of one party system, we have been subjected to anything they say we do. Do you look at people following Edeoga? They wouldn't have voted. Even though we don't have choice, on election day we'll be in our house. We will not go to vote for PDP and we'll keep our vote. But you see Edeoga's emergence, people are following him so that they can cast their vote there. Do you understand? So this issue of vote buying, people in PDP have, if they are 100%, 50% will collect that money. I can tell you that if they give me money because of my work, I cannot collect it. But others will still collect. Even my friends are telling me to my face, you see that money from PDP, they will collect it. But in election day, they know how to cast their vote. And why PDP should be careful is because yesterday they posted that INEC will continue their manual this thing, and so and SA to the governor posted on Facebook that not up to 1 hour they posted it that is going to be electronica. He went back. It will no longer. You see that going inside the bush to put hands. It will no longer happen again. And because of that reason, there is something that is called God. When God wants to do something, he takes permission from nobody. You see this electronic voting that came from Buhari is one of the reasons why anywhere I see him, I will hug him. Because if you are saying a man has not done well, what of the one he has done well? This one that Buhari brought is the best out of it. And Southeast, it's possible that we'll have House of Rep in PDP. In Labour, we'll have another. It will not be one party. Me, I will vote somebody in PDP. I will vote in Labour.
Your last word before you go. Your last word.
By virtue of involvement in politics, all this while, I've learned not to follow politicians emotionally, because most of the things that happen indoor are not always open for everybody to know. I followed primaries. I know the intrigues. If anybody tells you that governor told Chijuke to go and do consultation, if not that governor gave instruction that anybody that want to start consultation on delegates should go, then that person is not being truthful to himself. I followed a candidate and I know when the instruction was. Those who felt they have the money to go and do the delegate consultation did. Some people believe that it is not important because even if after doing the consultation, anybody that the party decide to give, the party will still they didn't go. So anything, I've always seen anything that happen in politics as either faith, you understand me, as either faith or God's way. If you stretch your luck too much in the entire process, I've played politics in Anambra for more than 15 years. I came to Enugu. I served a well-known politician in Anambra State before coming down to Enugu. So I can tell you very, very well, if you stretch your faith too much, knowing that you are popular, you can go about Nicholas Okochukwu. Nicholas will fail primary here, he will run to another party. With popularity, he has money, one of the billionaires in Anambra, he pull crowds. On election day, before 12 noon, he's already out. Till today, he's no longer contesting. After many years. In politics, if I'm to give advice, once you are in this family, you have been part of this family for life. Anything that happened to you in that family, take it as faith. And my last word is this. I think my colleagues here, all of us are friends. And there is one philosophy in life I always have. In anything you are doing in this life, don't make enemies, make friends. I can come to you now and say anything I want to tell you. Tomorrow, I criticize one of my brothers, Chinedumba, G17. You may be watching. The factional G17 leaders. I came online and criticized him. The other day we saw in government house, I knelt down and told him, senior, I'm kneeling. He started laughing and started jumping up and down. People now started came. Everybody, all of us started laughing. We don't have anywhere
No
else
permanent
to go.
enemy.
Another thing, don't go personal in politics. Politicians will come and hug themselves, eat in the back, irrespective of what they are trying to. There is no saint in Nigerian politician today, unless after this election. But today there is no saint. Don't go and go personal on tarnishing people's image that you are doing politics because of Mr. A or B. It will come back to hurt you. Those who did it during Chimaroke and Sullivan, where are they? I can tell you they are nowhere. Those who didn't talk benefited. Those who sponsored the tarnishing of the image benefited. I know one running away now. They used him to do everything. Sullivan's last tenure and first tenure of this government. He's running. He's on the run. He's on the run. He's among those crying that they had. But when he was, please, let's just play by the rules of engagement.
People that will even
Let's play by the rules of engagement. Let's play by the rules of engagement. Let's also get involved. Politics is not done on social media. We have our wards, we have our family, we have our polling units. Your impact should also be felt there. Sponsor things, sponsor political movements, sponsor your people. Go organize seminars. Tell your people what you believe in. By then we will get involved. All of us desire this change. But I will tell you, by 12 noon election day, PDP will be declared winner. Thank you and God bless you.
Your last word before we go.
Okay. What I want to say is that, well, like we say, when emotions are up, rationality takes backstage. One thing we fail to recognize is that politics, parties don't rule. Individual does. Like, it's quite laughable when somebody will come in and say what PDP have done in Enugu State, that we want to change PDP. The truth is that there is nobody that is running for governor in Enugu State now that is not PDP.
So they participated.
How?
See, there is nobody that is running for governor in Enugu State now. Both Nwakibia, that is from APC, both Frank Nweke Jr., Apoga, both Petamba, PDP, and Edeoga, Labour Party. All of them are PDP.
Sorry, Frank is accusing people of taking his glories. His town people are accusing him of changing the Igwe and bringing another person indirectly. That is how life works.
Let me finish.
Life.
No, these are PDP. These are people that has done everything with PDP. Like, let's take for example Edeoga. Edeoga was chairman. Edeoga was
from early 80s, late 80s.
Edeoga was House of Rep member on the
SPA
PDP.
from Gmo.
Edeoga was SSC to the president, PDP president. Edeoga was commissioner for 7 years under PDP.
And PDP have done bad.
Now, what exactly are you trying to tell me that he's going to do differently? Like, there is something that I say. One thing I don't do in my life is victim mentality. Now, everybody deserves good things to happen to them. Now, you cannot say that you run for this office, you run for primaries, that many people run. And if you didn't emerge, means that a bad thing have been done to you. It means that in the first place, you think that you are the only option that there is. Politics, unless that, because see, you know the funniest thing is that when they now say they did not allow, the thing is that every person that ran for primary, in PDP primary, all of them beckoned on the benevolence of the governor to make them.
They were even boasting of it.
I don't even understand me. Access of to primary is very unfair. Edeoga is not going to win. Now, let us even talk about, see, the reason why we are supporting P2B, in this election is because of the credibility of P2B. The reason why we are supporting P2B is because of the credibility of P2B as an individual. Now, when it comes to the state, let us talk about the credibility of the people that are contesting for this governor. Let's talk about the antecedent, what they have been, what they have built in their life. Edeoga is going to come last.
Truth.
Now, the only sentiment, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it because this thing is happening in Nsukka. The only sentiment, he should know, I fought with Nkanu youth severally because of Isuzo. At a point, if they conduct town hall meeting, they will be invited and I will get there, they will be considering whether to allow me to talk or not. Because I made it obvious from day one that Isuzo must be part of what we are discussing. Joy, initially, what they wanted to do is to have it as a Kankanuje movement. Before I understood the organization Enugu East movement. Now, but the movement wasn't centered in Isuzo. The movement was centered in to make sure that Isuzo wasn't excluded, but not to make Isuzo the only option that there is. Because there are 6 local governments in Enugu East. And since 1999, there has only been 1 local government that has been governor. So, other 5 local government other 4 local government is as qualified as Isuzo. But don't exclude Isuzo. That was the fight. Now, when that happened, and the sentiment in this whole thing, what you think? The sentiment is this sentiment of that, which has been the war that's happening in Enugu when it comes to East and North. The affiliation, the cultural affiliation of Isuzo with Nsukka. Now we need to diffuse political affiliation with cultural affiliation. Because diffusing political affiliation with cultural affiliation will help us and help Isuzo. The only sentiment that usually we have is the sentiment of that Isuzo want to play the sentiment of Nsukka, that I am from Nsukka. No, politically, he is from Enugu East, and he should maintain the fact that he's from Enugu East, because there is no point that when he returns to Enugu North, we are going to give it to Isuzo. So if this rotation continues to be in the way of to maintain peace and equity, Isuzo is going to be governor during the time of Enugu East territorial zone. Now, yes. That's when they are going to be governor. I was pro Isuzo if they have become produced, though Edeoga, this particular Edeoga wasn't my favorite. It was the prof.
Hillary.
You understand? Prof Edeoga. So I was pro Isuzo. But we also have to understand the fact that we have to also understand that it is not only Isuzo. And now he has gone to the now coming to bring Isuzo, that Isuzo is culturally affiliated with Nsukka, then you are trying to bring it to divide Nsukka, divide the Enugu state of Nsukka versus Enugu, then which I don't want. That's going to bring tribalism. Because those sentiments you are talking about is the sentiment name Obuya. Now, the people that are pushing Edeoga, let us tell you, the people that are pushing Edeoga are Umodo family. No, the people, like you say, the backbone of following Edeoga, they even go and get the labor ticket. It's more the family. Now, more the family, they were governor. Tell me one thing that they did for Nsukka. They were no, I'm talking about Nsukka zone. More the family, they were governor. Tell me what they did for Nsukka. More the family, they were minister. Tell me what they did for Nsukka. More the family were first PDP chairman. Tell me what they did for Nsukka. Is it when you want to play the sentimental politics of you want to take advantage of Nsukka affiliation, then you want to play the politics of Nsukka?
Okay,
but
you don't want to bring in the manifesto of Isuzo.
No, see.
Because of mode.
No, I'm not bringing. Listen to me. See, I'm not saying that.
Nobody
See,
marginalized
listen to me.
Are you serious?
No.
You know that the Kano East have been backwardly underdeveloped.
See.
No single project from Chimaroke down to
See, let me finish.
Not even a road project.
Let me-
Apart from Gluburu that did 500
Let me finish.
meters.
Let me
No
finish.
single
Let me-
project in entire Kano East.
Even when they have
See,
governor for
wait,
how many
can I
times?
finish?
Kamis have not been
Let me finish.
Kamis
Let
have
me
not
finish.
produced
Let me finish.
Please.
Let me
Are you telling
finish.
me?
Let me finish.
It's local
Let him
government.
finish.
Local government.
Let me finish.
Yes.
Isuzo became part of Enugu East when Abakaliki went as a separate state.
Nkalagu joined.
Nkalagu joined as a separate state to create Ebonyi. Previously, what we had is Nsukka zone, Enugu zone, and Abakaliki zone, which Isuzo was a part of Nsukka. Now, since this informed, then after that, we returned to democracy in '99. Then Nkanu has only produced Nkanu in Enugu East Central Zone, and in Nkanu West through Chimaroke has been the governor since Isuzo went there under that zone. Now we have other 5 local governments, including Isuzo. If you are going to do it by local government, that hasn't been governor. See now, like I said earlier, each and every one of them is as qualified based on equity and fairness. Is as qualified to be governor. But this time around, it did not favor somebody from Isuzo. But neither did it go back to Nkanu West. That has been governor before. It went back to another government, another local government that hasn't been governor before. Now the thing is still rotating. Now you are not going to call it injustice because, like I said, they have been. Edeoga was once a House of Rep member, and just like what happened here,
Is there a standard rotation structure?
no, the standard
What
rotation
is it?
structure is within the 3 senatorial zone. That is the conventional zoning system. It first came to East when we returned back to democracy because the person that was there before the military thwarted was Nwodo. So it was Nsukka that was there before the military thwarted. If I got to East, then from East to West, from West to North, then North back to East. Do you understand? Where Isuzo belongs to politically. Now, we shouldn't play this sentiment of a distance because I haven't seen the presence of Edeoga in Enugu North that is going to lead him to take advantage of, yes, now politically I need their vote. They are not my people. These people are no longer my people. But lest we forget, Edeoga was the sitting local government chairman when his local government was signed off to Enugu East. Wow. Okay. You know that. So when we come to that point, we also have to understand this system of government. That if you are looking at the credibility of people.
Yes, with Isaiah and Senator Isaiah.
Of course, now we are looking at the credibility.
Them,
See, at that point, you know the funny thing. At that point in time, they want to belong in the East.
They doesn't want to Nsukka again.
They want to belong in the
because
East
Isaiah
because they were together with Udenu.
up to today.
They were together with them. They wanted to belong in the East as a place that they feel that they're going to get more political benefit from. Now, we are not against that. It has happened, is that it has happened. Now, let us not bring the politics of tribalism. Because just like I continue to say, just like Isuzo is affiliated culturally to us as a zone, politically, culturally, but politically in Enugu East Senatorial Zone, so is Ijebu Ogene Ukehe affiliated to Udi culturally, but they are politically Enugu North. They are politically Nsukka. So let us not turn Enugu State into a mini Nigeria where tribalism takes a center stage.
Thank you.
Because Edeoga cannot use credibility of any sort to campaign against any of the candidates. So the only thing that he's coming in to campaign with is the fact that of affiliation with Nsukka. No, that shouldn't be the basis of this election.
Thank you.
Really?
Yes.
You. Your final word before we go.
I will react to his statement. You see, the emphasis you have made, to me, does not belong to this discussion. You are bringing ideas from the streets, maybe from social media. You see,
Everything I've been saying here is basically from social media, telling me that it doesn't belong to the table.
I said something here. I said something about sympathy. You get the point. I wasn't arguing that somebody came from Nsukka. That's not.
No, see, you said sympathy, and I want to explain to you where the sympathy is coming
That's
from.
not
Is it from Enugu
sympathy
East?
to you.
Is it from Enugu East senatorial district?
When you if you are going to talk about what I'm saying,
I don't know what
you cannot come up and tell me that what I'm saying doesn't belong to the table.
Since
You made a
2019,
statement. I need to explain to you.
on the ticket.
See, no matter how you
Edeoga did not spend half of what Odenge spent.
We're not even talking about money.
Did I
So
talk
who is
about
talking about? You said after spending money.
allow
You
him-
spend a
allow him to
See,
say
you people
that.
cannot say one thing, and when we want to talk about it, you move to
And you
another
move
thing.
to another thing.
It doesn't work that way.
Spending,
So
spending
if you want to bring up issue, you will bring up issue. I address it. Don't move away from it.
Emotion doesn't work.
Don't move away from it.
You cause more damage.
There is no
Educate.
emotion here.
I think you don't keep memory. Did you hear from my mouth that Edeoga spent money? Is it from
I was the one that
She was the one that said it.
during the primary.
why is he reusing it to respond
He
to
said
I said
sympathy.
you people said
I said
this.
during the primary that
Who are the new people?
no allow you people are who
Okay,
you
you
see
come here.
he has divided it to you people.
No, you're the one that divided it earlier enough.
Please,
Two people miss
please,
us.
told you I
please,
supposed to
your
have-
last word, your last word before we
What
go.
I'm saying is that
Your last
It's
word
now
before
you
we go.
people.
I like your
what I'm saying is that arguing
Yes,
Nsukka
I'm-
and this
I'm
thing
quick to laugh.
is to me, you are the one introducing it here.
Okay, we are
Because
talking.
I'm
I'm talking
coming.
reality.
Facts.
Wait
Let him
now.
finish.
I am not the one who said that. Like if you are responding, it's not to me. I didn't say that. What I said is the drama in election. I said that PDP have always had a way they maintain stability. If you didn't hear me well, I'll tell you again. I gave you an example. I said, if you, Daniel, wants to go and become a counselor, you make consultation. Is that not what they do? And they will tell you, Daniel, wait, Roy will go.
Is it that imposition? According to
I
them.
don't know what.
Because if you are going to stop people from contesting, what you have to have in the political scene is that they didn't want people to contest. They imposed.
The
people.
truth.
That's what
See,
people are doing.
Listen.
You-
During the local government
You
nominations,
cannot use a system.
they
when it
produce
favors
1-1
you,
tickets.
and when it doesn't favor
They produce
you, you
1-1
can't
ticket.
tie it.
PDP produce
You are
1-1
being
ticket. The local
biased.
government
No.
what the campaign against them is that they imposed them. They did not allow people to contest. Now this time
They have
around,
been imposing.
it was
Today they don't want to
made.
impose.
It was not made.
You can
It was not made
When it
open for
favors
everyone to
you,
you know
contest.
my
Now it becomes a problem
My
again.
evidence that
So you
nobody has
need
ever
to
come out to say that
you need to go.
bring the evidence that
You
governor told him to go and contest.
You need to get.
You can't come here on phone and ask me that you want to contest for election. Should you go and buy from my own?
No, I say no.
How did they do the
If I
primary
tell you no, you come out and start telling people that
How
I
did
told
they
you not
vote in
to
the primary
contest.
election?
They voted now.
The three man
We are really not open. We are really not open.
Gentlemen,
You
thank
should
you.
have attended.
A night
Last
before
words, please.
before the election.
Please, his last
How
word.
much
I'm coming
were
to
paid
you.
to the account?
Please, I'm
How much did you receive?
To go and deliver
How much
pizza
did you receive?
They were calling local government
How
to
much
deliver
did you
pizza
receive?
back.
You see,
And how much did you
Hold on.
making unnecessary.
You will see the evidence
Please,
for
hold
one
on.
unascertainable
You will see
certifiable
Don't say what you don't know. You're the one that doesn't
statement
know.
can put you in trouble.
It's a lie.
Gentlemen,
It's a lie.
please.
Please.
You're still talking. Your last word before we go.
Bikru, round up.
People that are saying it are
There
they
is the
blind?
need for change
In Enugu State.
in Enugu State. There is a problem that I see in our politics. Do you know the main problem of PDP is the problem of line-up. Line-up is the evil that is destroying PDP. So if God wills that Peter Mba becomes the governor,
Yes.
he should know how to cure internal conflict. That internal conflict comes to every small level. At the local government, you can have as many as 10 lineups, dividing families and friends up and down. Who said that politics cannot be done without that kind of culture? I want PDP to work on that.
You're a member, you want us to work.
I don't understand.
All of us will work. You said you can't carry member.
Your last word.
Am I
before we go.
PDP?
But you said you can't carry member. You said it here.
Your last word before
Will
we
I
go.
make decision for PDP?
You made mention that
I make suggestions like I just made.
Oracle, please.
All
No,
of us will work.
no, no,
all of Rona.
let me
I
tell
don't
you.
follow.
You are taking it to a wrong level.
I will not advise PDP to adjust in their policies when it comes to picking up a candidate. but I want to tell every Nigeria, every Enugu citizen, to be the one to decide who they will vote for. Do you understand? I will not say that PDP should change the way they do things by saying go and deliver this person. This person is our candidate, because that is their way. We don't do election in Enugu State. What you hear is go and deliver oracle, and I will be delivered even when I'm not credible. Do you understand? So because of this evil, I will pray that Enugu State will experience a new political party, because PDP is known with delivering even when they are not pregnant. They deliver a candidate. Once your name is mentioned, go and sleep.
Including your
the reason why Peter Mbah did not even try to meet with anybody, he did not meet with the delegates, he did not meet with what's it called, the traditional rulers, he did not meet with anybody, he did not do primary campaign. It's because excuse me, he did not do any campaign. Somebody that is contesting for election from the onset.
I say you always make
excuse me.
You always make statements that are
it's not your business. I'm the one making it.
Comrade.
So put it on me. It's not your business. Of
be
that.
guided.
No, be guided too.
Oracle, continue.
No, be guided too with
Oracle,
Please, can we
continue.
conclude?
now,
please?
we can't conclude until I'm done.
Please
So
continue.
the main thing here is that we are tired of the way they impose uncredible candidates. People that are not credible, even when we have others. You understand? So because of that, we don't want PDP. If it's, let me tell you something. I'm not saying that it's a must. I'm not feeding from political party, and I'm not living. I didn't buy land for political party. So there is, even if Peter Mbah wins, it doesn't concern me. Do you understand? But the truth remains this: they are imposing of candidates to the citizen, even when it's not their choice. Is the reason why I will not say they should change. I will urge every Enugu youth, both the young and the old, to vote out PDP.
Thank you.
We said new idea, a new Nigeria cannot be possible with the old PDP we have in Enugu State. If we should buy the idea of a new Nigeria, we should buy the idea of a new Enugu State. Do you understand?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for watching. We've come to the end of the debate on Voice Power Media Television. Thank you for watching.
The Debate is a bilingual program about the political discourse of Nigeria, representing issues and matters arising as they concern the governance of Nigeria by Nigerians in the diaspora and those resident in the country. Insecurity, unemployment, politics, epileptic power supply, strikes. We render an expose of the malfeasance of the past, the inadequacies of the present, and the deceits of the future. Join me every Tuesday on Voice Power Television as we discuss these and more.
This is Voice Power Media, the voice of the realm.